A guten Wort. Okay, we're on Kav Ches, Berochos.
Let's give him this, Eli.
Yeah.
We started a little bit, so we're maybe 10 lines down.
Which page is that?
We're on Kav Ches 28.
28A1.
That means which page?
28A1.
So when it said, so on that day it says Oso Ayom, was the day that they deposed Rabban Gamliel. So it says Tana 80 Bo Bayom Nishnis. The Mishnah 80, where there's a lot of testimony given about a lot of different halachas. We should know that Bo Bayom, that day when all those Talmidim now were added, so they had a lot of votes. You know, there were a lot of halachas that were up in the air, and they had a lot of votes taken that day. And in fact, the Gemara is going to tell us that whenever it says Bo Bayom, there's many places in Shas where it says on that day, we're referring to this day, that the day when they threw out the guard and all these people came in, new Talmidim. That's the Bo Bayom day.
But it doesn't. I'm not talking about. It doesn't. I'm assuming it doesn't literally mean for that. They mean that was the beginning of a new way of learning that. I guess from then on.
No, but it says Bo Bayom. Bo Bayom really means on that day. So for Kol Hechad there meaning Bo Bayom Ahu Yom Hava. Whenever it says, because sometimes it'll say Bo Bayom, they nimnu v'gamru, they voted, and the halacha was like this. So it's being told that whenever it says Os Hayom or Bo Bayom, it means that day. There were many halachas that were sort of suspended in the air that they never had enough understanding or votes to be able to come to a majority to decide, majority opinion, consensus regarding that halacha. Afram Gamliel, Lo Mana, it's what they say, Medrash Afilu Shachas. To show us the mile of Gamliel, the Gemara tells us that you might think, here they just deposed the Rosh Hashiva, he's going to be upset, he's going to take his Gemara and stalk out and go down the street and form another shul or another base medrash and compete with it. No, it's not. Bo Bayom, Ba Yehuda Ger Amoini, Liftem Beis HaMedrash. There was a ger, an Ammonite ger. Now, there's a pasuk that says, Lo Yavo Amoni Umoavi B'Kal Hashem. So later on, in a generation of Shmuel Hanavi, the base of Shmuel Ramosi, they paskin Amoni v'lo Ammonit, Moavi v'lo Moavit. That means when it says an Ammonite, you may not marry even Asara Doiros, that's only a male Ammonite, not a female. So therefore, and that was a big debate regarding Rus HaMoaviyah. That means when Doeg HaEdomi cursed David HaMelech, they basically claimed David HaMelech is not fit to be the king because he's from Rus HaMoaviyah, who's Lo Yavo Bakal. Boaz had no right to marry her, and they're all puzzled. So a puzzled person cannot be the king because there's a puzzle that says he has to be among the achecha. So that's why it was a halachic reason that Doeg, they were fighting with Doeg and other of that generation.
But she was considered more than.
By the way,
real
after David died, and after Shlomo Melech became king, they were still the people did not accept David Melech. We have a Gemara, there's a Chazal that tell us that when 4 years later, after Shlomo Melech built the base of Mikdash, and the Aron had been brought to Ir David, and they were trying to bring the Aron into the base of Mikdash, the doors would not open until it says Bavur David Avdecha Al Toshek Neimechichach. We read it, we say it by Simchas Torah, by Atar Reisa. When he said Bavur David Avdecha, it opened miraculously. The people, there was a simon that the people now understood. Oh, David is Min Hashamayim, was the right person.
Right.
So
So
here we are 1,000 years later, and Yehuda Ger Amoini comes to the base of Midrash. Omer lahem mani lova bakol. Can I get married into Klal Yisrael?
Welcome to the shiur.
Rabbi Gamliel also had to lova bakol. So of course Rabbi Gamliel knows the din. He's a male Amoni, and Amoni is also bakol. Omer le Rabbi Yeshua mutter. So Rabbi Yeshua, who of course was the one who started the whole issue, because Rabbi Yeshua paskin differently than Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Yeshua said no, he's mutter lova bakol. Mutter at lova bakol. Omer le Rabbi Gamliel. So basically, Rabbi Gamliel still was participating in the halachic debate between the Chachamim in trying to be mavara the proper halacha. Rabbi Gamliel felt was one of the major Talmidei Chachamim of that generation, and continued to participate in this dialogue. What was the dialogue here? What do you mean, Rabbi Yeshua? How can you be matir? It says in the first apostle. Rabbi Yeshua, the Amanu Moav b'mkamen ein yoshvin. Amanu Moav, there doesn't exist anymore. By the way, this halacha is paskin and Even Ezer. That once Sancheriv was like in 700 BCE, he came and he took the 10 tribes away, part of that Melech Ashur, and at that time he also was there was such a battles going on among the rest of the goyim that all it's mixed up. We don't know who Ammonims are and the Moabites are and all of these.
But what does that mean? We can't believe him when he said that he's from Ammon?
No, yeah, we're going to see in what the Gemara says. They're not the Ammon and Moab are not. They're not an Ammon anymore. Ammon is that area, and he came from that area. Because the pasuk says, "Shneimar va'asir gvulot amim va'atidudem." That means the gvulim, the separations between the nations are going to be removed. Va'atidudem shusosi va'orid kavir yoshvim. That this guy came from the general goyim, v'chol de parish meruba parish. We have a general principle, right? The Tesha Chanuyos, you have 9 butcher shops, kosher, 1 non-butcher shop. And you find a piece of meat outside of the butcher shop. So we have a din of called the parush meruba parish. If you found it outside, it's separated from the majority. So we hold that the piece of meat is kosher. Now, if you found the piece of meat inside the butcher shop, so that's kavua. If it's not, it didn't parush, it didn't separate. Called kavua kemerza umerza dami. That we're going to have later on. Many times we're going to come to that sugi of Teisha Chanuyos. The same thing here. Called the parush meruba parush, and therefore he is from the regular goyim. That's not necessary because you can take gerim from other goyim. You can't take it from Ammon and Moab, but from other goyim you can. So that's why Yeshua paskin that he's much lovable. But what do you mean? After but there's a later pasuk that says Hashem is going to return the Bnei Ammon. So maybe they will return, and this guy is a regular Ammonite. But there's also a pasuk that says eventually the Shavus Am Yisrael is going to return. Yeah, but you see, Klal Yisrael has not returned. So just like the majority of Klal Yisrael has not returned to Eretz Yisrael, the majority of the Ammonites have not returned. Miyadi tiru lavo bakal. So they permitted them to lavo bakal. Okay. So Rabbi Gamliel saw he's part of the debate, and the Talmidim are coming. He had second thoughts because he was tough against Rabbi Yeshua. So he said, I'm going to apologize to Rabbi Yeshua. I was in the wrong. So Gamliel went to Rabbi Yeshua's home. Remember, Gamliel is from the house of Hillel. Rabbi Gamliel is the Nasi, who came from a very wealthy home. So when he got to Rabbi Yeshua's home, Chazina Lashisa, the base of the Meshashchon, all of the walls of Rabbi Yeshua was blackened. Rabbi Yeshua had to be a blacksmith. Rabbi Yeshua, just like when you and I grew up in the 50s and early 60s, the NFL football players, today they're all multimillionaires. But the football players, they were all
They had
car
second job.
dealerships during the summer.
Yeah,
It was
teachers,
everybody.
you know,
They were all. Remember when Sandy Koufax and Dan Drysdale held out for $100,000 in
$100,000.
1964? So already the pitcher, the baseball players became wealthy. Kurt Flood, that was right. But the football players all had jobs. They were regular jobs. So I say the same thing. The Tanoim and the Amoraim had jobs. Nobody was supporting it. There was no kolo concept. They worked, and he was a blacksmith. It was very poor.
I was outside. Who's
Rabbi
the
Yeshua.
Rabbi Yeshua.
So I see, I never knew, says Rabbi Gamliel, you were a blacksmith. Woe is the generation that you were the leader of it. You lacked info. You didn't know how much the Talmidei Chachamim were suffering. I mean, the Rosh Yeshiva shouldn't just be somebody who can be Mafal Pel Ashir. He has to know what's going on with them. How are they living? B'amehem isparnasim, u'b'amehem nizunim. Amar lo. So we're going to respond to Nesilcha. You know what? You're right, Macholi. I have to apologize. Lo ishkach be. And Rabbi Yeshua did not want to forgive him.
In what part? The part he didn't realize.
He didn't want to be
black
moichelim.
women?
No, he
Or
didn't want to be
the-
moichelim.
because
No,
of-
a fight. Remember, because Rabbi Gamliel came to apologize to Rabbi Yeshua about this whole episode.
Okay,
About the whole episode, and he didn't want to accept it. Then he asked him, "Asay b'shul kvod Abba," do it because of the covet of the Nasi, pious. So he accepted the apology. Okay, Amru. So the Talmidei Chachamim, I guess, that were around when this was going on, and they saw that they made up. So man nezel v'lei meluhu rabbanan. So who should go and tell them back at the yeshiva that they now made up? Armalahu koibes. There was a certain launderer there, and said, "I'm not azil now, so I will go." Shalachlu Rabbi Yeshua lebei midrasha. And so Rabbi Yeshua sent him to the base medrash. He used it like a riddle. Mandela vishmida, whoever wears like the purple, royal clothing, yilba shmida, should wear purple clothing. Mandela vishmida, the one who doesn't wear purple clothing, yemer lamandela vishmida, should tell the person who's wearing it, shlach mida, to take off your purple clothing. Va'ana al b'shei, and I will return it. Meaning it was a signal that, we now appointed a new Rosh Hashiva, but now they made up. So l'chur, they wanted to go back to the way it was. Rabbi Kiva Rabbanon, Truku Gali, Dolese Avdi Regamliel Ulitzar Rabbanon. They wanted to put a guard, huh? That they were concerned that the Avodim of Gamliel would come to trap him at the Chachamim.
Lock the doors. The
Honor of-
servants, they're not coming
Right?
to harass the
Amr of
rabbis.
Yeshua, Mutav de Akim the Ezel and Nolagavayim. So Rabbi Yeshua saw that he had to intervene himself personally. Also, he came to Arfa Baba, he came to the front door. Amr lay, Mazeh ben Mazeh, Yazeh. Now, the koying is Mazeh, the paraduma. It means Hazah is the act of sprinkling. So he said that a Mazeh, the son of a Mazeh, should sprinkle. V'she'eno lo mazeh, the lo ben mazeh. Yormel mazeh, and they should tell that Yormel lo mazeh ben mazeh may mecha may ma'ara v'ferecha efer makla. They should tell the one who's like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, who's sort of acting in the role, that it's not really that the original one who's the mazeh ben mazeh, who's right the Rabbi Gamliel, who's descended from Hillel, should take his rightful role. Rabbi Yeshua and his spite. So now they understood, because initially they didn't understand that Rabbi Yeshua had accepted the apology. So now Rabbi Kiva understood Rabbi Yeshua and his spite. So I see that you accepted the apology of Rabbi Gamliel. But now this whole revolution we made, we did this whole thing because of your covenant. Tomorrow you and I should wake up early and come. And Hechi Navid. What should we do? Navre, should we remove Elazar ben Azariah? We can't do that. Gemiri, we have Allah Moshe Misinai, Malin Bakodesh, ve'ein moiridin. That means when you raise somebody up, you can't lower him down again. You got to keep him on the status that he is. Nidrush Mar Chadashapta, Umar Chadashapta. Let them rotate. You told me that by Shalosh Sudas. Let 1 week Rabbi Gamliel will give the drasha, the next week Elazar ben Azariah will give the drasha. Also, the kanoi, there'll be competition. They'll be jealous of each other. And the lidrash of Gamliel plus a shapti, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah chad shapta. So they arranged. Rabbi Gamliel gave it 3 times, and Rabbi Elazar 1 time. And behind Adam Ramar, that's why many times in Shas we see that they ask Shabbos shel mi haisa, and they would say, whose Shabbos was it? And they would say, oh, it's Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah haisa. But also Talmid Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai. The original story, this story started with the also Talmud. One of the students came to start up the whole machloikas between Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Gamliel. Who was it? Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai. The Gemara wants to tell us the identity of who was that also Talmud. Then we said Vishul Musafim Kalayom. We said machloikas Chacham Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said Musaf ends until the 7th hour, and the Chacham said you could say Musaf all day. Amrav Yochanan, but the Nikra Posheya. Somebody davens Musaf a whole day. He's a Posheya. You can't do it that late. Ton Rabbanon. Haylof understate tefillas. A person is in the 7th hour, and he has, because remember, you can already start davening mincha at 6:30. right? So he has two tefillas in front of him. Achas shel mincha v'achas shel musaf. The halacha is mispal shel mincha v'achar kach mispal shel musaf. You should first daven mincha, then musaf. Shazu tadira, v'zu eina tadira. Mincha said every day. Shabbos is said once a week. So we have a halachic principle. Whatever is tadir goes first. Well, you know, mispal shel musaf, v'achar kach mispal shel mincha. He argued. He said you should daven musaf first, then mincha. Shazu mitzvah oiveres. Because remember, musaf, he doesn't have much time. It's gonna end in 30 minutes. Mincha he has a whole day to daven, or later till plaga mincha. So this is a passing mitzvah. Better do the passing mitzvah. V'zu mitzvah shein oiveres. Rav Yechon, halacha. The final halacha is mispal shel mincha v'achar kach mispal shel musaf. And I said, as we said, sometimes Simchas Torah comes into this problem that if you daven too late, you might have to daven mincha before musaf. Rav Zerek Yavichalish Megirsa. Rav Zeri would learn so strong, he would get weak. And he figured out a way how to refresh himself. He would go to the yeshiva Rav Nosson, and he would sit on the door there. Omar, ki chafi rabbanon, when the chacham come in and out, as ekim ikamayu, v'akabel igra, and I will. So I cannot get schar from learning because I'm really tired. But as Talmidei Chachamim come into the yeshiva, I'll stand up, and every time you stand up, you're showing kavod to the Rebbe. You're doing a mitzvah. He wanted to continue getting schar mitzvahs. Also, Rav Nosson Bar Tuvi comes. Rav Nosson Bar Tuvi, Amrlei, Man Amar Halacha Be'Midrash. What halacha was said in the base medrash? Amrlei, Achi Amar Rav Yechon, Ein halacha Rav Yehuda. The halacha is not like Rav Yehuda, who had said, "The Amar Mispal Adam Shal Musaf Achi Mispal Shal Mincha." Rather, the halacha is we have to daven mincha first and after musaf. Amarle Rav Yochanan Amra. Are you sure it's Rav Yochanan who said that halacha? Amarle in. And Tanamine Arboin Zimnin. He made him repeat it 40 times so that it would remain shogar b'piv that he knew who was said it. Amarle Chadihi lacha or Chadetz lacha. Is the reason why you're repeating this 40 times because it's new for you or because it's sharp? It's a sharp word. That's why you're repeating it. Amarle Chadetili. It's sharp. Yishud Besafkali, Rabbi Yishud ben Levi, I was mesupik. What's the din? And now that you told me what the din is, I want to retain it. Rabbi Yishud ben Levi, Kol Mispalat Filah Shel Musafin, Lachar Sheva Shols, Rav Yehuda, all of Akos Voimer, Nugi Mimoid Asafti Mimech. Hayu. It's not a good thing. It's a negative thing if you daven Musaf after 7, according to Rabbi Yehuda. Now my mashmat I Nugi listed at the top. It's like broken. Where do you see that the word nugi is like a broken thing? Like a nugi. Talking Rav Yosef, Tavra Osi al Sunan de Beis Yisrael, that the Klal Yisrael, so Sunan de Beis Yisrael is a Lashon Nekiya, and Klal Yisrael itself they should break. Al the Achriz Mani Moadim Yerushalayim, that they come late to the various Moadim in Yerushalayim. Rashi Machna Shavir Moadim Atfilas V'Chagim Yunoigim V'Sufim B'Kam. That they violated, they were not celebrating the Moadim Yerushalayim properly. Amr Rabbi Lazar, Kol Mispal Tefillah Shel Shachris L'Achar B'Shois, Rabbi Yehuda. So we had the same thing. Rabbi Yehuda said you can't daven Shachris after Arba Shois. What if you daven after Arba Shois? All of a Kosov Oimer, Nugi Mimoyed Asafti Mimechayu. Remember, the word Moyed means a date. Now, I'm talking about a date, like you have a date with your wife. A date. You are koiveya. That means when we use the word Moyed or Oyel Moyed, we have a date to come with Hashem at that time.
Can you do Chol Moed as well?
The word Moed is from the Lashon of date, that you have a set time to meet with somebody, and if you break the date, that's the concept of Moed. And the same thing, these Manei Tefillah. We have a date. You set up a meet without you know. I'll pick you up at 6:30. That's what we're talking about. So these Manei Tefillah, we have to view it that way. Would we pick up our date late? Chas v'sholem. So it's the same thing. If you break the date, then it leads to problems. Now, my mashmal haynugi lishted at tzara. It's lashon of pain. The chsiv dolfa nafshi metuga. The word metuga and nugi is the same thing. That way it's a gomer mehacha. Psuloseh nugos v'hi marla. In Echa, it refers to the orphaned cities who are nugos, that are broken and such. Rav Evitz Cholish, Rav Avi got sick. The Lo'asa Lepirkid Rav Yosef, and did not attend the Shir of Rav Yosef in the yeshiva. L'macha, the next day, also when he came to yeshiva, boy avaya lanuchi daited Rav Yosef. Abaya, who had recognized that Rav Avia had not appeared in the yeshiva, wanted to calm Rav Yosef down. The Rosh Yeshiva would know who missed. So he was like this. He was like the setup guy. He asked him a question. I'm like, my time lo asamar lepirka. He knew he didn't feel well, so he asked Rav Avia, why did you come to yeshiva yesterday? Amar lei, davecholish boy. I had a weak heart, v'lo matzina, and so I couldn't make it. Amar lei, amaylo ta'am temidi v'osis. Now, if you were cholish liba, it usually meant because you didn't eat anything yet. So if
It means what?
you didn't eat, you were hungry.
Oh, okay.
You didn't eat or drink, like before davening. So he didn't eat. So why'd you eat something? Then you wouldn't have been cholish liba. Amar lei, so Rav Avi responded, Lo yisavel amar, don't you hold lahad Rav Huna, the Amar Rav Huna, asr lo adam sheyitom klum kotem sheyispalot for a musafik. That you shouldn't eat anything prior to musaf. Amar lei, ivoy le lamar letzlu yitzlusa de musafim biyachid, v'lito midi. You should have davened musaf early, by yourself, be a chidus. Then you could have eaten something. You could have come to the yeshiva. So again, Rav Avi said, it means if you're davening with the tzibah, you're going to start davening, but you at tefillas yachid by yourself, you can't do that. And yet this is what Abaya seemed to have suggested to her. It wasn't learned on that. Betzibur shanu. Tzibur is different. But you didn't daven b'tzibur, you were by yourself. You could have davened by yourself. But the less hilchas salok Ravuna, the lok Rav Shua ben Levi, the halacha is not neither of these amorim. Ki Ravuna hadamor, like we just passed it. Or Ki Rav Shua ben Levi, Rav Shua even she gives man tfilas mincha. That once you get to tfilas mincha, asul al arm shitam klum korim she spelled tfilas mincha. That once the zman mincha comes, you also can't eat anything before you daven mincha. Once. I mean, let's say you haven't eaten lunch and Zman Mincha is coming, you shouldn't eat before. But the halacha is not like that. The halacha is not like
that.
that.
A half hour before Mincha, that's what I think it is. You have to wait till about a half hour before.
Yeah, but once this halacha, once Zman Mincha comes, you can't eat anymore. No, that's what he paskin like, and he says that with that the halacha is not like that.
I mean, they say, John, I mean, I never do that, but I remember learning that it's good to do that, to first try to get the mitzvah out of the way, whether it's Ma'ariv, whether it's Mencha.
Yeah, but it's not an Isser. But it's not an Isser. Mishnah. Rav Nachum ben Kanahayim is spelled b'knisas l'beis HaMidrash. Uvitziyos tfilas k'tzar. Rav Nachum, when he came to shul, he would daven, when he went before, he would have a certain tefillah before he came in, and when he went out, a small tefillah. Amru lo, ma makom tefillah zu. What's the place of this tefillah? Amr lahem b'knisasi ani mispalel, shlo ye'ered var katal al yadi. Nothing bad should happen because of me. That was his tefillah. That means I should not also be the cause of a problem for somebody else. Uvitziasi ani noisem hoido al chelki.
How you understand this?
I should not be the vehicle by which Hashem causes a problem for somebody else. Like sometimes Hashem will send punishment to somebody, maybe through you. But he doesn't want to be a Dvar Takola for anything. It should only be good. And on his way out of shul, he would give hoidah for his chelik. Everything that he had, he was happy with. He was samech bechelko. What was really his tefillah? Yirazim v'adach Hashem Elkai. Shleir dever tfarkal yadi. Nothing bad should happen because of me. V'lo ikashel b'dvar halacha. I shouldn't make a mistake by halacha. V'yispachu bi chaveroi. My friends should be happy with me. V'lo omer al tomei tor v'lo al tor tomei. Right? I shouldn't paskin wrong by saying something that is tomei tor or something vice versa. V'lo ikashel chaver b'dvar halacha. And my friends should not stumble on a dvar halacha because of me. V'esmach b'hem. And therefore we will all be happy with each other. What was the tefillah that he said on his way out? Moide was because he said it was a hoidah. Moide ani l'fanech Hashem Elkai, shesamte chalkei miyoshvei beis hamedrash, v'osamte chalkei miyoshvei kronos. Shani mashkim v'hei mashkimim. Where do we recognize this from? This is from the Siyum. This is from the Hadron after we'll make a Siyum. But this is the tefillah of Nachum ben Akal. They wake up v'hei mashkim. Ani mashkim d'vrei Torah v'hei mashkim d'varim b'tevet. Right? Anu amel v'hei. They work, we work. Ani amel kabel schar. We get schar, they work also, but they don't get the schar. Ani ratz, v'im ratzim. Ani ratz, chalam haba, v'im ratzim, bershachas. So that's the tefillah of Nechuy ben Akana. Ton Rabbanon. Kishachol Rabbi Eliezer. We're talking about Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkinus. Nichlus was Talmid of Levakro. Talmidim came to visit him. Ormel Rabbeinu, Lamadnu Orches Chaim. You taught us the way of life. And this kebe'el l'chayim haba. We should be zoich with what you taught us l'chayim haba. Ormel Lahem. They asked him to teach us that. Arlam, Yizar b'kvad chaverchem. So he gave them like the highlights. Be very careful in the covet of your friends. Umanu b'neichem minahi goyon. Keep your kids away from the study of logic, which like philosophy, being Rashi lo targilim b'mikra yosem midai mishum de mishcha. It pulls people to minus, to like apicursus. Let them sit in the laps of Talmidei Chachamim. When you daven, always have in mind, think who you're standing in front of. If you follow these things, you'll be zoich l'olam haba. Now, since the Gemara started by telling us events when they visited people who are like on their deathbed, they're dying. Usually when it says keshachala, it means the final illness. Usually that's what it means. So Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai, we know, was the Rosh Sanhedrin at the time of Vespasian, at the time of Churban Bayis Rishon, where there was a debate what they should do, they should fight. So Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai really advised to compromise with the Romans. Remember, they snuck him out in a coffin, and he met with Vespasian, and he said, "Tein li Yavna v'chachameha." That was Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai. He requested Yavna, and they gave him Yavna. They moved the Sanhedrin over to Yavna, and they were able to continue the Torah. So people say, well, why did Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai Tein li Yerushalayim? So we'll see. Nechnusu Talmidav Levakro. Kivin Shiroi Som Hischil Livkois. Started crying. Arla Talmido. So his student said to him, Ner Yisrael Amud Hayimoni. You are the light, the candle of Israel. You are the right-hand pillar. Patish Achagaz, you're the strong hammer. Now let's say I was being delivered in front of a human king. A human king is here today, next day is in the grave. And if he gets angry with me, it's not a permanent anger. And if he imprisons me, and if he kills me, it's not permanent. And anyways, with a human king, I can always seduce him and change his mind with words. Or, bribe him. But if I was summoned in front of the king with all of these things, with all of his frailties, and the way outs I can have, I would still be crying. This is HaKadosh Baruch Hu that is eternal. If he's angry with me, it's permanent. It's not just he kills me, it's there's no way to get out of it. I can't argue with him with words. Rabbi Yochanan says, I have two roads in front of me that I see. How could, this is Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai that the Gemara says who didn't know, who knew everything, right? We're going to see that there were, right, Shivim Talmidim of Hillel. The greatest one was Akavim Memalala. The smallest one was Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai. And what did Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai? He learned this, he learned that. We're going to see there's a Gemara like that. He knew Midrashim, he knew Kabbalah, he knew, there wasn't anything he didn't know. Yet he was concerned.
You didn't know they can do tshuva and be clean?
No, but he was concerned. And some learned Pshat, it's about this issue, that when he said, Tein li Yavna v'chachamed, did he make the right decision? Omer Rabbeinu, they rachnu. So that's it. By the way, this soliloquy ends. It's not like it goes any further. He was boiche, and he was in doubt what's going to be with him. So they asked him to bench him, that they should be benched by him. Omer lehem, he wrote some, he benched them, shetei mora shamayim aleichem, yishav avir shamayim on you, kamor bas v'dom. And if you can do it even the way you fear a human being, that's a way to start. Omer letalmidah, what ad kan? What? To fear, it means to mora shamayim is only that you should have in mind Moira Shemaim the way you fear a human being? Armalam Levai Tedu. Alavai, you should get to that degree. Because Adam Over Avera. If a person makes an Avera, Omer Shelo Yirani Adam, he should be embarrassed by it. B'shas P'tirosoi, right? At the time of his death,
Amar lahem.
no, when Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai was about to die, Omer Lem Pnu Kelim Ibnei Atuma. Number one, he was very practical. He said, remove all the Kelim from the house, because once I die, they're all going to become Tameh.
right.
So he gave him a practical. And then he said, but, Echinu Kisa L'Chizkiah Melech Yehuda Shabbat. He somehow saw a vision. Chizkiah Melech Yehuda was coming to be Malave him, obviously to Gan Eden. So that bring a chair, even though the chair is going to be Multame, but we need a chair for Chizkiah Melech Yehuda. We could spend some time learning this. Rabbi Gamliel Oimer, B'chol Yom V'Yom, Mispal Adam Shmona Esrei. So Rabbi Gamliel says, we daven Shmona Esrei. Now, Rabbi Gamliel headed the institution in Yavne. And so we already have Masorah that the Shmona Esrei came from Anshe Knesset Agdola, who was Ezra Sofer with Anshe Knesset Agdola. So you're talking about, this is now a span of 500 years. Rabbi Shua Omer Me'ein Yudches. So this machlokes is a different machlokes. Rabbi Gamliel held a person should say a full Shmona Esrei when you daven. Rabbi Shua said no, you can say Tfilas Havinenu, right? That's the Me'ein Yudches, right? The bracha me'ein shalosh, right? When we say ala michya, we call it bracha me'ein shalosh. Me'ein means like a truncated, a smaller, an abridged version. So me'ein shalosh. What is shalosh? We're talking about the shalosh. The Berochos Hamazon has shalosh brachas. So we say because the fourth bracha was established later on in Yavne. So really, Mekadin has shalosh brachas. When we say brachas me'ein shalosh, we mean the abridged bracha. So here as well, when we say Me'ein Yud Ches, we mean the abridged Shmona Esrei, which is called Tfilas Havinenu.
You know, but me'in, the word me'in.
That's what I'm saying, abridged, Me'ein. It's like a part of Me'ein,
Isn't
some
that,
of it.
Isn't that the Shemona that we say that Baruch Hashem Lo Olam Amen V'Amen? Or that
No,
that came out later on?
that's something else.
But that's also a shortage of Shemona.
That's a shortage, that's a different reason. There's a historical reason for that with the Romans.
That was
everything
later
like
on, right?
that. Good vach, by Christ. So Rabbi Yoshua held Me'ein Yud Ches. Akiva Omer, Im Shkur Tfiloso, Befiv, it depends. If a person knows the tefillah very well, and he's not going to stumble over it, Mispal Yud Ches. But V'im Lav Me'ein Yud Ches. So he has a compromise opinion.
Is the new?
Rabbi Lezer Omer, Oiset Tfiloso Kva, Ain't Tfiloso Tachanunim. What this means is if a person makes it like rote, Kva means he just says it because he's got to get through it, then the tefillah is not really rachmin. Rav Yeshua Omer, now let's say you're traveling in a dangerous place. Certainly, mispalel tefillah ktsara. You just say a short tefillah. V'omer, Hoshea Hashem esamcha eshevis Yisrael. Period. And b'chol parshas ha'ibur, whatever happens to them, yutzarchem l'fanecha. This is part of the tefillah. The tzrachim should be, you should take care of them. Baruch atah Hashem shomei tefillah. That's the tefillah. Hay rochav al chamor. Now, let's say a person's riding a donkey. Yered v'yispalel. He shouldn't daven while he's riding the donkey. He should come off the donkey and daven properly. But v'meino yachol yered. Let's say you can't. For whatever it's dangerous, whatever. So, yachzir es panav. He should turn his face and daven. Now, let's say you could turn his face to the east, which is towards Yerushalayim, and daven. Now, let's say he can't do that for whatever reason, sakana, right?
But back then it would be, to get to the bubble, it would be to the west.
West.
Whatever direction to Yerushalayim.
I was thinking the same.
Yichavin es libo keneged beis kodesh kodoshim. Now, if you can't turn your physical body, you should have kavana of your lave towards the kodesh kodoshim. If you were in a boat, same thing. You should think about the Kodesh Kodoshim.
You could relate this to when you drive a car.
if you're in a car and maybe the time is going, time is
nothing's
going.
coming up.
So what do? You get out? That
No, you
depends.
head towards
If it's a bad
Fontana.
neighborhood, maybe you shouldn't get out.
Or even on a highway. What does someone do on a highway when he's stuck in,
Well, why can't you pull off and go to a rest stop?
Yeah, well, you're in a plane. Do you
can't.
hijack the
But
plane?
can't.
Bumper to bumper.
Okay, and a chanami, it's the
You're
same
a
thing.
helicopter. You change. Oh, never mind. Do something.
Hani Yudches Keneged me. Now, where did they come up with 18? Well, why 18? Why not 24? Why not 50? Amar Vila Brid Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani Keneged Yudches Askarois She'Amar David Bahavul Hashem B'nei Elim. It says the word Hashem 18 times in that in Mizmor, in that Mizmor LaDavid. Rav Yosef Amar Keneged Yudches Askar She'B'Kriyas Shema. If you count, there are 18 times Hashem's name is mentioned in Kriyas Shema. Amar Tancham Rav Yeshua ben Levi. Keneged Shmona Asrei Chulyo Shebeshedra. We have 18 vertebra, right? T12, right? So we have, let's see, 8 cervical. So it must be below the ribs. Let's see, we have 8 cervical, we have 12 thoracic, and then we have the 5 lumbar, and then 5 lumbar. What did you say?
The way
You
over
get
there.
way
Yeah,
too
it's
many.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it has to do where the ribs stop at the 12th rib. So that would be only 5 lumbar. Hang on, 5 lumbar, and the 12 thoracic,
17.
and the sacrum. That's 18. That must be on. That must be on the
What's the
shot.
coccyx? Does that count?
So then we'd have 19.
19,
So
yeah.
Aratan Chaber Shub ben Levi Avispal Tzach Sheyichra
That's not the vertebra.
Ad Shispaka Kol Chol Yeshub B'Shedra.
How they-
That means when you bow down, you should like see every vertebra in your spine. Ula Omar Ad Kadesh Shir Iser Keneged Libo. You have to see like the sternum next to your heart. Omar Kivan Shanei Rosh Shuv Enot Tzach. No, once you put your head down a little bit, that's you don't have to do more than that. Omar Rav Vahudim Mitzar Nafsheh, but it has to hurt him a little bit. Umechzi Commander Kor has to be like he looks like he's bowing. Hani Tam Nisrei. So Freit the Gemara. What do you mean? There's 18. Tishrei, I mean, there's 19. Because Malshini Malti Tikva. If you add that, it's 19. On Rav Levi Birchas Atstukim B'Yavda Taktum. So again,
Of the heretics.
we call it Birchas Haminim normally. Remember, we've always said min means my min Yeshu Noitzri. It was censored. And then wherever they saw the word min, they'd stuck in Stuki. Because if the Jewish, the censors figured let's put Stuki in the one that we know what it means. It's Stuki, meaning they're all not good.
Yeah.
But rather than make them angry, we'll put Stuki instead of min. But we know it as Birchas Haminim because we know in the year 100 is when Rabbi Gamliel and Yavda, when they established the Birchas Hashem. That's when it was going on. Remember, 50, 60, Paul was traveling around trying to get them, and they wanted it was primarily towards the Jews. But the Jews, they wanted them to keep Taryag mitzvahs.
Yeah.
Right? You have to keep Taryag mitzvahs and believe in Yeshu. The Jews did not accept it at all. So then they went to the Greeks and to the Turks and Asia Minor and all
and
that
they
stuff.
ate it up.
So, by the way, the Romans supported the Jews. The Romans were believers in ancient religion, and they knew that Judaism was much more ancient than Christianity.
Sure.
So, in fact, they did all the persecutions of there were persecutions of the
That wasn't
Christians.
until later on, until what's his name converted the whole.
That was the year 300
Right.
Constantine. That was later, but it's
Constantine,
200 years.
Right.
The Romans were supportive of not that, but in 135 CE, the Hadrian revolt, Rabbi Akiva, Bar Kokhba, so that the Romans wiped the Jews out. But up until that time, they had good relations with the Jews, reasonably good relations. Rav Levi, Beratzum b'Yavna Taknua, Keneged mi Taknua. So what was that established? Rav Levi, Amar Rav Levi, Rabbi Hillel, Braid Rav Shmuel Nachmani, Keneged, Kela Kavod Hirim. They're asking, where's the simon? I thought that Mizmor LaDavid had 18 names of Hashem. So they found it says Kela Kavod Hirim. So Kel is also the name of Hashem. So that Kel refers to the 19th brach. Rav Yosef Keneged Echad Shebekriyas Shema, because it says Hashem Elokechem, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So the Echad is also, who are we talking about when we talk about He's the one? It's Hashem. So that Echad is Keneged the 19th brach. Rav Tanchum and Shimon Levi Keneged Chulya Ketana Shebeshedra. It's the small bone, the coccyx,
See,
or
I told you.
or if that's what it's referring to. Torah. Shimon Apakuli Hizder Yudchas Brachos Rav Gamliel Al Seder B'Yav. So even though we say that this Anshe Knesset Gdoila had established it, it's in the name of Chazal, Shimon HaPakuli ordered the 18 brachas in front of Gamliel in Yavne. Amar Gamliel Chachamim, Klum Yesh Adam Shodel Second Brachas Atstukim. So there was a need for this Shimon Alti Yisikva. And he was asking on the Chachamim, who should establish it? Amar Shmuel HaKotim, the Tikne. Shmuel HaKotim was masaking it. Shana Acheres, Shacha. The next year they forgot it. Now we're going to Chav Tes. Oh yeah.